Welcome, welcome all. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. I'm sorry, I'm new at this, trying to adjust everything here. Okay, hopefully that works better. I'm doing this for my phone, so I hope this works. All right. Oh, that's really cool. My phone actually tells me where my camera is. That's super awesome. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Today I want to discuss something that is something that I've got kind of on my mind. It's a safe space, and I am not going to infringe on anybody's rights to believe what they want to believe. You're a human being. You have every right to free speech and freedom of movement. However, that said, and I'm going to try to be as non-political as possible. We'll just have to see what happens. That said, this is also a free space, and I will give my opinions, that I hold very strongly to. So, without further ado, let's get in. Welcome to my channel. New video, first of many, I hope. Hopefully this turns out really well. All right. As there's a lot of political movements going on today, as we have Black Lives Matter and everything else, I'd like to bring one more thing to the table, and that is the fact that in all the presidential debates, talks, the RNC, the DMC, whatever, in all the everything going on, schools remaining closed and basically indefinitely as the Democrats strive to alleviate every scrap of humanity from our world today, I come to you with another thought, as it were. In all the talks, negotiations, and lies, and truths, and everything on TV, we have not once heard whatsoever about one issue alone, and that being people with disabilities. We have not heard one thing whatsoever about how we're going to help the people who have disabilities, either they're in school, the elderly people with disabilities that are just basically swept under the rug. And before you stop me and say, oh, well, what about wait a minute, dude, what about the National Federation for the Blind and the organizations like that? Well, what about them? They're still there. But I don't hear anybody talking about what they're going to do for the future to help in this time of crisis. As the world is on its end, fighting to stay afloat. Some people wondering where their next check's going to come from. Some people still wondering where they're gonna lay their head. That's not new. Come on, really? That's old news. Where's the compassion? I'll ask that again. Where's the compassion for the people who aren't able to work, who aren't able to get a job, who aren't able to go to school, And school has become such a hot topic among people right now anyway, that it's almost better to wait and see what happens. Again, that's my opinion. And all the stuff going on right now, my point is this. I don't hear the Democrats or the Republicans talking about what chance a disabled person has in this life to move forward. It is and has been so hard for even our veterans who are disabled in the wars to come home and integrate back into society. It's even harder for a blind person to find a job because of the belief that blind people should still just stay home and live with their parents. Let their parents wait on them every hand and foot. It shouldn't matter anymore, really. But it does. As racial injustice sweeps this world and everything comes to a head, I still don't hear about the plan for people with disabled. I still don't hear about what people are going to do to be able to integrate back into society. This will all come to a head one way or another, and this will all go away. The coronavirus, Black Lives Matter, the elections, all the drama, it'll all go away. But guess what won't? The fact that blind people and people with other disabilities are just told to stay home, live with your parents. Education's pretty bad too, because guess what they say in education? Education says, oh, guess what? We're just going to give you the minimal education possible so that we can move on to other people. Is that fair? Is that right? Is that just to say? Stay at home. Live with your mama, live with your daddy. Let them take care of you. Or live off Social Security your entire life. There are the people who are able to go out and make a name for themselves. I know quite a few that are able to get out there and create businesses and opportunities for themselves. And I'm not saying that I'm not one of them. I'm not saying that I don't have drive. I do have drive. I want to go to school to become a teacher. But education in this day and age is predicated on the academic ability, quote. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by quote, unquote, predicated ability? I mean, it's all in what you're able to do. It's your ability. And if you're not able, or you don't have the money, or you don't have the time, or you don't have what we want you to have, we don't want you. And guess what? You're swept under the rug as the disabled person. Say, guess what? You're back at home. You're swept under the rug anymore to say, guess what? And everybody around you just says, stay home, do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You don't matter. Oh yeah, I forgot one thing. Cancel culture. Cancel culture makes me so mad, and I don't want to get bleeped off of YouTube for certain things. But guess what? Again, I'm entitled to my opinion, and I think that anybody who believes in cancel culture, who believes that any other human being can tell me or you or anybody else what not to say, what not to do, who not to be, buzz off. You don't matter. Anybody who thinks that they can take away somebody else's freedom of speech, freedom right to bear arms, to eat, sleep, and do whatever they want. Oops. I moved the phone. Sorry. You're kidding yourself. You're kidding yourself. It no longer matters to the left what you or anybody else believes in. Because if you're left, if you're left, you're right. That's a little oxymoronic, isn't it? If you're left, you're right. If you're left, you're king. You get to decide what everybody thinks, says, does, believes, does or believes. Wow. Thinks, says, writes, anything like that. Because if you're left, you're never wrong. But guess what? I have a message for the left. If you think that you're going to tell me or anybody else that I should just, stay home and things should stay the way that they are, bye-bye. I'm not going to follow you. I'm also not going to follow somebody who thinks that they can just sit there and tell me that your way is the only way. And guess what? I don't believe in that. I believe in a creator that created me and everybody on this earth, and guess what? He's the only person I answer to. And if you want to bleep me for that too, fine, go ahead. Bleep me for that too. Yeah, there is a God, and guess what? I look up to him because guess what? Any human being tells me that I'm wrong and that I have to believe in them or I'm canceled. Well, guess what? Go ahead and cancel me. Because I don't want to be part of this anyway, right? I'm disabled. I'm legally blind. I just said that on YouTube. The YouTube. Yes, I'm legally blind. Have no sight in my right eye. As you might know, as you might be able to tell when you watch this, my camera's a little shaky. I'm sorry for that. I'm going to try and get a tripod. But guess what? This is my first video. And I hope that when you, the viewer, sees this, you understand that I am not trying to sway you one way or the other. You are free to believe whatever you want. But I do ask that you think about this. Oops. I do ask that you think about this. I'm going to leave you today with 3 things. One being, should any human being be able to tell you or me or anybody else how to live your life? We left the kings and queens and all that a long time ago. And if you're in England, I don't know much about it, but I don't renege or slam on your country whatsoever. I don't. It was a part of history that we don't have anymore. So therefore, we in the States don't have anymore. So therefore, should people be able to act that way? I don't think so. And if you agree with me, then, well, just look at the way we're going. The left would have us believe that in a socialistic government, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready. Point number 2, I said 3 things. We're on point number 2. Point number 2 is this. Education should be available to everybody. I'm going to tell you a little story. Eventually, I'm going to do a full video on this, but I'm going to tell you a little quick story. When I was in K through 12 education, I'll put it, I didn't realize it because I had no clue. But I was in public school, and I was passed through. I was passed along. No big deal to pass a blind guy through because he's just going to live at home and do whatever he wants and live with his parents. No big deal. So I went 12 years, believing that my education, while I knew I had a disability, was perfect. Or not, maybe not perfect. Maybe perfect is the wrong word to say. But passable. Believing that maybe I'd be able to go to a junior college or a 2-year college, community college, and get a degree. Now I'm in community college and I'm struggling. I'm struggling because of the fundamental basics they didn't give me in the beginning, in the early years. I'm struggling because they passed me through. They said, guess what? You're blind, so this is all you're ever going to amount to. Point number 3, we all have to stand for what we believe in. Again, I'm not going to tell you ever on this channel what you believe in is wrong. But you do need to stand for it. You do need to make a stand, and you do need to make sure that whatever you believe in, you do it with every fiber of your being, because guess what? Certain people would take that away from you. Certain people would tell you, guess what? Your beliefs don't matter. Your beliefs are nothing. They don't matter. I think it does. I think every person's belief is deserving of a voice. And I believe every voice should be heard. Every voice. I hope not bad for a first video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. I'll probably post before the week's out or by next weekend. I'll have a better schedule as to when I'm going to potentially post again. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.
Take picture. Stop recording video button.